up, everybody? Welcome back to the Price to Sell podcast. I'm your host, Matt Campoli. And today, I brought on someone super special because, he said he's special when I met him. So I therefore think he's special. But he's actually super special. 18 years in the business, crushed it, making 7 figures continuously, annually, all the awards, the accolades, and now I consider him a mentor for me. We have Mr. Rick Dhillon on the couch.
Thank you for making me feel special.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir.
Because I know you haven't felt special yet today.
Huh? I kind of feel special all the time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
These red cups, it's like pre-drinking before the club.
Exactly. Except it's strictly water, guys.
It's water.
Yeah, we're on that clean tip.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
But Rick and I work together. He's taught me a lot. Definitely caught a really interesting vibe from him when I met him and it attracted me to want to work with him. Now we're doing some pretty big things.
We are doing big things. And I don't know if everybody knows this about you. When I first met you, I thought you were just a pretty face. But honestly, dude, like I tell you all the time, I'm really impressed by your work ethic and your drive. Not only that you do it on social media, you're a killer real estate agent. Like you'll get on the phone, you're there, you're working all the time. You're like your typical definition high achiever. So
thanks, man.
Good for you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
High achievers attract high achievers.
That's right. Yeah, we do.
But let's give everyone a little bit, like I know all about you, but let's let the audience learn a little bit about Rick.
The good, bad, and the ugly?
Yeah, let's tell them.
So I got that typical underachiever kind of story. I was the kid that wasn't supposed to make it. I was a smart kid, bad student. I just didn't like school. I liked doing the fun shit. Mm-hmm. And I hung around with interesting people. Let's put it that way. Then in the middle of high school or something, I met a girl. And she's like, Rick, you're a smart guy. Stop hanging around these interesting people. So I kind of followed her lead. She was a year older than me, got into university. Got into U of T, actually. And then the same thing happened. Once I got into university, like nobody was watching, nobody's taking attendance. And I was like, you know what? I'd rather do fun stuff than go to school. I got a job as a property accountant, actually. Okay, so I was managing property portfolios, some of the biggest ones in the city. Again, after the first little while, 1 hour lunches turned into 2 hour lunches. I was just kind of underachieving, right? So in 2005, I got my real estate license. And honestly, brother, that was kind of something that I wanted to prove to myself. To a lot of people, it's just a real estate license, but to me, it was like my last hope. Mm-hmm. I'm like, dude, are you going to be that guy that just constantly underachieves? So for me, it was like a time to prove something to myself, which looking back through the mirror 18 years later, I did. So it started off interesting. The first year is always interesting. I really caught my groove on real estate, I want to say, through for sale by owners.
Yeah.
Dude, I called them.
Let's unpack the for sale by owners because this is valuable.
Yeah. So for sale by owners, for me, my broker, I love the guy. He was like a short Italian guy, tried to teach me real estate, but it was just old school back then. He's like, knock on doors, give these flyers. I was like, okay. So I went after the random door knocking stuff. Nothing's wrong with that. But for me, I was like, okay, for sale by owners, they've already raised their hand. They're like, Rick, I'm selling my house. I'm just not using realtors. So I was like, okay, what if I just created the skill set to just use the objection handling to help them use me? Just say, instead of selling yourself, this is why you should use me. So I got on the phone, man, just like you. I started cranking calls. I got into the office early in the morning, started calling, rejection. What was the first thing that worked for me? Oh, I started offering free open houses. I'm like, listen, you guys are selling your house. Go ahead. I'll provide the open house signs. Can I do your open houses on Sunday? And it just went on and on. I got better at it. They sold the house. They bought a house. And then I got a referral system. But it started for sale by owners.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. And then, fast forward a bit, you end up building a reputable name for yourself.
Yeah.
7-figure business.
Yeah.
Small team.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Funny story on that. So my first brokerage was Century 21. And they used to give out these awards. And I think second year I won like the 100K award, which was a lot back then. It's not like 4 houses it is now. It was like our price points were low, like 200,000-300,000. Am I old? Getting old. But anyway, so they called up my name. I didn't go to stage to get the 100K award because I wanted that Oscar. There was something called a centurion and a double centurion. So finally, I think in my third year, I got that centurion. And then I was like, yes. And I finally went up for that. I forgot what you were asking me, but I just wanted to tell that story.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, no, I was talking about the, like you start off, okay, you get these awards and everything, but what kind of systems did you have to like reach that 7-figure mark?
Dude, that didn't happen. I was stuck in the 6-figure marks for a very long time until I took coaching. Okay, I'm a strong believer in mentorship and coaching. Once I started exploring with a whole bunch of different coaches, and it was really the systems that I learned through coaching, really working on the business and not in the business. I know we hear that term a lot, but just kind of really figuring out what that is like, instead of opening lockbox stuff, actually working on your system so the lead flow is coming automatically. So the first thing that I needed to do if I wanted to start a real estate team is what you're talking about, is I had to have an overflow of business. I can't handle business unless I have an overflow. So the systems created an overflow of business, and then I recruited the right agents to come on the team. I trained them, I managed them, and then we went in. Yeah, we were top 1% in the city, then top 1% in the country, top. Everybody's a top 1% now, but that was an issue too. Like, we'll get into the whole team model if you want. You want to unpack the team model? Sure. So here I am. I'm running a successful team, but I'm not making as much money as I wanted to. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So all these 7 figures, people that throw out all these numbers, the stats are great, but the bottom line wasn't that great. At best, a successful real estate team is at about 15% to 20% gross profit. 20% is really good. Mm-hmm. So if you have a real estate team, what you're doing is you're inviting agents to the team, you're promising them business. For that business, I used to take 50%, okay? Half commission. But from my half, I'm paying the admin, I'm paying all the salaries, I'm doing all the marketing. So at best, I'm left with 20%. So what I was really doing, I was still in the business, and it was my deals that was floating the team in the beginning. So yeah, $1 million, $2 million seems great, but if you're only making a 20% gross profit, when I say 20% gross profit, I mean if you're totally out of production, if you have no production. I'm not talking about your own deals, okay? The deals that you give out, it's like 20% best. So I was like, there has to be a better way.
Mm-hmm. And then a lot of people, it's funny you said, because you look at them from outside looking in, you see like the cool team and whatnot, and it's like, okay, I want to do that. I want to lead one of these. But when you ask people who've done the teams, a lot of people will be like, you know what, it might not be worth it just for numbers like this or statistics like this.
Yeah. I don't want to say it's not worth it. It really depends on one's goals.
Yeah.
Like me and you talked about your goals. Mm-hmm. I know your goals, right? They're on my wall, actually, your goals.
Are they still there?
Yeah, they're still there.
Yeah.
I'm visualizing your goals. Yeah. They're pretty good goals. I'm like, I'm going to steal these. So anyway, the thing is, depends on your goals. If your goal is to have that big revenue team where you create a lot of revenue, because I'm telling you, productive sales team, they will hit a lot of revenue. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But I was more profit focused and time focused, because success to me is not just about myself.
Yeah.
I have 2 kids, 2 boys. They're in sports. I want to make sure that I'm there for them. My wife, I love her to death. I want to make sure I spend time with her. I'm a son. I want to make sure that I do that stuff. Health, so for me, it's health, wealth, relationships, and some kind of spirit. So if I'm making X amount of dollars, but I'm lonely, I have no one to talk to, and I'm out of shape, that's not success to me. So I was like, why spend all this time making all this revenue when I'm not keeping all of it? So then I started doing other things that we do. Investing in real estate, obviously, right? You're good at that actually with the Airbnb stuff. And I got into developing real estate. And then back in 2020, I got into EXP. And the reason why I thought it was pretty cool is because I can build other revenue streams and really buy my time.
Oh, hello there, my fellow real estate enthusiasts. Today's episode is brought to you by the one and only Waryah Law, the law firm that's the best in the biz when it comes to closing deals. These guys are not your grandmother's law firm. They complete same-day status certificates and purchase agreement reviews so you can put in your offers without care in the world. Plus, they're digital, so you can have virtual closings across Ontario. Talk about fancy. And get this, they're available 7 days a week. That's right, no rest for the wicked. They even speak over 8 languages, so there's no excuse for any lost in translation drama. Waryah Law works hand-in-hand with real estate agents and mortgage brokers, so you know they're the real deal. They'll make sure your transactions are smooth and work around the schedule to get those closing docs when you need them. So if you're looking for a law firm that's not only exceptional, but also makes closing deals look like a piece of cake, Waryah Law is your go-to. Check out the description in the episode to learn more. Yes, exactly. And now I want to segue into, because we just discussed the traditional team, right? Which works completely.
Right.
But here now you're given this opportunity with this company to now open up other layers versus just making commission.
Yeah.
Because a problem that, I've personally, this is me personally speaking right now, but I'm a very long-term thinker.
Yeah.
Studied history. So I was...
Did you?
Yeah. I know I'm not that smart. I don't seem that smart.
You're smart, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
yeah, I have a degree in it.
Yeah.
Ask me if I remember any of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good question.
Yeah.
Cannot answer any of it. But yeah, so the way I analyze things, and I'm taught to critically think. That's my 5 years in university. I just analyze things from a bit broader lens,
Right.
versus being like super narrow focused.
Yeah.
So I would look at my life and wake up every January 1st, unemployed, at $0. Like, okay, I got to make it again. Just crushed it the year before, but I'm burnt out. You know what I mean? Okay, like what are the next steps? Do I scale? Do I build a team? Like what can I do to buy my time back? Because, you look at the most successful people in the world. Some of them are absolutely crushing it, and they have a lot of freedom still. They bought that freedom back, and they gained that time back, and they're leveraging, in order, and their money is being made on leverage.
Yeah.
Versus being out there and working for every dollar, being in the business and selling it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just, I was trying to analyze it, but there has to be other ways. And this is during COVID. I was literally sitting in my bed.
Why'd you mention that word, dude?
I know. This is during the pandemic, and I'm sitting in my room having time now, and it's okay, just crushed it the year before. But I'm tired.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm 28 at the time, 29.
Yeah.
What about when I'm 45 or 50 with a family? Can I still perform like this? Or do I want to perform like this? The short answer was no.
Yeah.
So I started to study, different models, and that's why EXP really got me, is because, okay, I can still make my commissions. I can still crush it because I have a lot of selling still left in me.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah.
But I wanted to build some sort of passive income. That's why I invest in real estate.
Yeah.
I want cash flow.
Yeah.
Right? I want to reach enough cash flow per month. Like I have goals on my wall where it's X amount per month I'm making where that's my financial freedom. Nowhere near that right now, but I want to keep investing.
Yeah, I have that
year.
goal on my wall too.
You have my goal, exactly. But if I'm, was it Warren Buffett? Someone said you need 7 streams of income.
Yeah. A lot of people say that.
Right?
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I heard it from Buffett. I'm not sure. But But okay, I have my real estate commissions.
Yeah.
Great. Now I have my cash flowing properties.
Yeah.
Plus equity building properties.
Yeah.
Number 2, just start a property management company.
Right.
That's 3. I do dabble in some stuff.
Yeah.
But here you have a company like we're involved in, and I'm able to earn a 5th and a 6th.
Yeah.
Just because I'm doing the same thing I was already doing.
Yeah.
Right. So it's super interesting. Guys, we're not preaching or trying to.
I am. I'm
but this is just the way I was personally thinking, and this is what how I'm trying to set up my life.
Yeah.
Right?
And you know what it is, Matt? What you're trying to say is that you're like me. You're a visionary.
Yeah.
Right. So visionaries try to predict what the new ways of the future are. And like when it comes to this topic, I didn't do it for all those reasons. I wanted other streams of income and stuff, but I wanted to build a culture. Like you see what's happening at the office
Yes.
every day. So I was like, okay. I sat back and I'm thinking, I'm like, okay. Shout out to Jay Kinder. He kind of really helped me through this model. He kind of read my brain. He's like, listen, Rick, I can tell you're 18 years in the business. You're a high achiever. You're killing it. Aren't you sick of the transaction treadmill? January 1st, you start at zero, right? Your best realtors on your team probably want to leave when they get good. I'm like, yeah. Okay, the bottom of the barrel ones, they're not even calling leads that you're handing on a silver platter. I'm like, yeah, pretty much. So you're trying to get better leads for them, spend more money on marketing, more salaries, so you make their life easier. January 1st, you start at zero is like a transaction treadmill. So all of that was cool. But let's fast forward to today. 400 plus agents. And I always knew that I wanted to build a community and I wanted to build a culture. And when that's what attracted me to EXP, because I felt that, okay, if that was the shortcut to get to 400 agents, we'll get to 1,000 soon, and then 2,000. It's going to happen because the model allows it. But here's the point. Now, through that culture's collaboration, I would have never met you. Probably would have never been on this podcast, right? And you would have found me. But what I'm saying, I probably would have never been on here.
Yeah.
And I talked to you, 4 or 5 times a week about building businesses and stuff. Now, we couldn't do that without this model. Now let's 400x that. I'm doing that with 400 agents. Now what we created was, the things we're working on is we created a culture where we're investing together. We get a pre-con project, it's gone because we have a 400-person sales team. So we can become the new baker even. That's how we're selling ourselves to new developers and things like that. We can create a mix. Our events that we do, they're everybody in the seat is our people and they're inviting more people. So there's a lot of power in collaboration. When I was at a typical brick and mortar, you had your your broker. I had great brokers. I love the brokerages that I was with, but it was set up that there's a broker, everybody else is a sole proprietor. Here, we're all owners. So when owners collaborate, big things happen.
Yeah. No, it's definitely interesting. It's definitely changing, making waves. Some people will hate on it, but then you have other companies like Real doing a very similar model. They're crushing it. Other companies trying to adopt it.
Yeah.
But it's a pain point in the business. It is. Like we have no retirement. We have no pension. For me, it was a big pain point. So I'm trying to build that financial freedom.
Yeah. 20 years in the biz.
Yeah.
30 years in the biz. You can't go back to your broker owner and be like, hey, I put in 30 years, I'm retiring. Can you give me $5,000 a month? That's not a shot at the broker owner. It's not built like that. Here, you can build it. So at the end of the day, for myself, I was like, why leave money on the table?
Yeah.
Okay, so check this out. I sell a house. Let's call it 22 Apple Circle. All right, I sell that house and I'm at ABC Brokerage. I get a commission check. I sell that same house and I'm at eXp Realty. Okay, I get that commission. I potentially get some shares and stock. And who's on the other side of that transaction? It's a realtor. Realtors do deals with realtors. And because eXp is making so much noise, there's a 50% chance that a realtor is going to ask me, hey, do you like the model? And you know what I say? I say, listen, it worked for me. The only thing I could say is you should do your homework on it. It might be for you. It might not be.
Yeah.
That's it. You present the model and whoever wants to join can join.
Yeah.
So I say, why leave money on the table?
No, it's super true. You're maximizing the potential.
Yeah. And it's not for everybody.
No, it really isn't.
No.
It really isn't. But it's been fun.
Why'd you join?
For the reasons I said.
Yeah. It wasn't because of...
You were
'cause
good.
You liked me?
You were cool. I mean, but like definitely not because of you. I'm kidding. No, Rick's awesome.
My picture's on your wall.
Yeah, it is. I have Rick's goals on my wall. He has my goals on his wall. But yeah, no, essentially for the reasons I mentioned before, like I was studying the company for 2 years.
Yeah.
Right. So I didn't just automatically hop, but I was doing my own case studies. I was watching people grow from the beginning to where they're at now. I was seeing the supplemental income they were earning by just being in that model. It just made hey, listen, I started Airbnb probably before it was hyped up. People were like, why are you why not get a regular tenant? Why are you going to let someone else stay in your home? Because you can make more money. right?
Yeah.
Like that was the fact.
Yeah. Daily rentals.
Yeah. And it's like I'm leveraging, instead of just leveraging one person in my property, I'm leveraging 30 a month potentially. I'm leveraging 15 a month potentially.
Yeah.
To them, it makes no difference because they're paying the $200 a night. It's cheap for them.
Why do you think some people have that success gene and others don't?
I think it's just a perspective thing. It's just, I wasn't born with this, but I study the most successful people in the world. I listen to them.
Yeah.
Success leaves clues.
Yeah.
Right. So if I'm watching certain people at a high level and they're saying similar things,
Yeah.
or they have similar traits or similar habits,
Yeah.
I'm going to want to model that. Right. Like some of the most wealthy people in the world buy real estate, invest in real estate. They own buildings. They own hotels.
Yeah.
They develop. Right. That's the high level of it. That's a game I'd like to get into too, which is why you and I resonated, because I know you do all that stuff too.
Yeah.
And you're starting to get into that, which is cool.
Yeah.
That's a whole other game.
Yeah. The development side is fun. It just branches off because every time that, like, it's all in a real estate umbrella, right? The investing, it started with the commissions, because I didn't have, my dad having a PhD, Papa has dough. That wasn't coming down. I didn't have that. I was not cut from that cloth, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, so my dad's not going to say, here's $1 million trust fund. That's not happening. So, like, how am I going to do this?
Exactly, same. Yeah.
You too, right? So I'm like, okay, let's rock these commission checks. Took those commission checks. I did half smart things with them, half of them I didn't, okay? But then I started putting back into real estate. I started putting back into my business, boom. But then it's like, what's next? You can't just be stagnant. A high achiever wants to achieve in everything. So, okay, development is part of real estate, right? So let's develop. Creating a fund and investing together, leveraging. Talk about leveraging, that's leveraging. The financing side, the mortgage, the financing side is part of real estate. Let's create private lending. Let's do that, right? So getting back to why that is, I think if I had to give one piece of advice, not that you asked me, I thought you were going to ask me to give a piece of advice, but you
Actually,
didn't.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you give me a piece of advice?
Yes, I can give you a piece of
Oh,
advice.
okay, cool. Yeah. It just came to me. Yeah.
No. So listen, I can speak on this because I've lived two lives, one of an underachiever and now one of a overachiever, maybe too much. And I did both things extremely well, okay? And if I could give one piece of advice to anybody that's watching, it would be success is simply just the removal of doubt, okay? When you remove that doubt, it eventually becomes a belief. Okay, now those are just words, just put into practice. So some people remove doubt from affirmations, screaming in the mirror and all that stuff. If it works, do it, right? And then because they want to believe that they can do something. I think if you want to remove your doubt, if you can just remove your doubt in one thing, lose that 20 pounds, stop smoking, whatever it is, that one thing that you want to do, remove that doubt. And the only way that you can remove that doubt is just action. Stop thinking about it and just do it. Like going back to the for sale by owners, I wanted to get commission checks. Boom. I picked one thing and I just did it. So now let's go use that example. That practice built a belief. So that underachiever that I was, I proved something to myself. So if everybody can just prove one thing to themselves, that belief translates. If you could do one thing, like you kicked ass, you sold a whole bunch of homes. Now you're good on the mic. You're good on the podcast. You can rock it on stage. I seen you do all those things. Why? Because at one point you built a belief. Mm-hmm. It's my Tony Robbins moment for the day.
No, it's true. It's super true, man. Yeah. And like you do a lot of self-development.
I do.
Right? And how important do you think being in our business? I've talked about this recently a lot, but being in this business, there has to be a level of balancing work on yourself, because you can like lose it real quick.
I think the best investment you can give yourself is investing back in yourself. If I tell you a personal story, I would say that audiobooks saved my life in some way. Before Audible was out, we had one. I told this story to you, I think, if you're listening. But it used to be a Blockbuster type CD store, like audiobooks. You could rent them out. It was called the Audio Book World. For those of you from Saga, it was on basically QEW and Highway 10. That's Starbucks Rabbit Plaza, right? I used to walk in there. You can rent out the books. And I used to listen to Wayne Dyer, Brian Tracy, my favorite, Jim Rohn, all those boys, right? And because I never had a mentor. Now, this was a mentor in a box that I could rent out for $5. And now I'm listening to that all day. So now, boom, boom. Me and you trade books. I think we did it this morning.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like, when it comes to that self-development, man, it is very important to empower yourself with that. And if you don't have it, me and you tell personal stories that like we didn't have that growing up. So if you don't have that growing up, it costs you $15 to buy a book.
Yeah, Audible. $14 a month.
Listen to it while you're driving.
That's what I do that all the time.
Yeah, I listen to it on the treadmill, but I walk. You can't do it when you run. You're young. You run? Yeah. So
I don't run.
No?
I get beta if I run.
What does that mean?
I'll lose my muscle.
Dude.
Who's gonna
I've
me
never
right now?
seen someone eat more than you.
I know.
You're
a fact.
constantly eating.
Yeah, I am.
Wow.
I'm a furnace.
Yeah, you're building up that.
My metabolism's insane.
Were you a naturally skinny kid?
Super skinny. So I got to keep and this my whole confidence story, but I was 114 pounds in high school. Like the most scrawniest kid in the world. I was also 5'2", grade 9. Then I hit 5'6", and then like at grade 12, I finally hit like 5'10". Now I'm 6 feet. I'm like 185.
Oh,
you know,
you look good.
I'm trying to keep it.
Cause you're constant. I never seen someone eat as much as you.
Yeah. I'm starving right now.
Wow.
Don't
you're
say
eating
eat.
towards meetings and like
Yeah. I'll eat. I have an empty. I have an empty bowl of oatmeal in the backseat of my car.
How long has it been there? A week?
No, just this morning.
Okay, that's okay.
But Marina was looking at me. She's like, "Don't do that."
Because Marina's clean.
Like, don't.
She's super clean.
She's like, "Don't stoop to this level."
Yeah. She's.
But I did.
Clean.
I'm in the elevator with a full bowl of oatmeal.
Yeah.
From home. No, it's the ceramic bowl, fresh of oatmeal.
Yeah, you're constantly eating.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
But
so then you gained your confidence by building your body.
Building the body was the start for me. I gained the confidence there. And then breaking through belief systems, barrier by barrier. I was blessed to be a barber because I was able to pick the brain of so many different types of guys.
You didn't pick my brain.
You weren't. You have no hair.
I have no hair.
So, I mean, I couldn't be your barber, right?
Touche, my friends. I had hair once, bro.
I really want to see a picture of what that looks
Really?
like. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had my one buddy, Blowall, shout out Blowall. He sat down and he's like, yeah, I've become like taking on spirituality. I'm like, what's that?
Yeah.
He's like, you're an empath. I'm like, what's that? He's like, do this. Let's do this test and this. And I'm like, this is a cool world. I'm like, there's so many so many untapped like powers you can like hone into. And then my whole self-development journey started with Think and Grow Rich and all that, and the whole mindset thing that I ended up purchasing a bunch of whiteboards, and then now I have whiteboards and sticky notes everywhere. So
yeah,
it's like it just had.
What was the first book that changed your? Do you remember the first book that changed?
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
Because I just bought my Acura Integra 2001.
Yeah.
And I was gonna soup it up. Like I was working landscaping.
Oh yeah, I had that too.
So taking this route of life, I was working landscaping. I was a laborer, doing hardscapes, building pools, interlocking, carrying gravel all the time from the truck. All that. That was my life. I was actually taking a year off school. I was thinking about going to the trades, and then I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I learned about liabilities and assets. I didn't have a savings account. I didn't have a bank. I had no savings account. I was making money in landscaping, but I was about to drop like a shit ton of money into my car because I wanted to have that. I'm from Vaughan. I'm Italian.
Of course. The speakers, the woofers in the back.
I had to have the big Integra with the exhaust. With the subwoofer.
Subwoofer.
To play my Euro.
Yeah.
I had to just join that stereotypical, you know? Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to touch this car. I'm just going to tint the windows. But then I'm like, okay, it's cool. My money can work for me. My brain started to open up. I read the compounding effect, like all these different things. Think and Grow Rich 3 times. That was like the game changer for me.
They say that's where every book, self-development book, came from. Napoleon Hill.
So for something written in 1932, it's like the amount of nuggets way ahead of its time. Like it's like must be some time travel associated with that. Like it's crazy. Like I don't know about that, but still like the powers and all those laws exist. You just got to know how to tap it. So I can go on a whole tangent here, but this is also over 10 years of work on myself. Like 19 is when that journey started, right? And it's not like in order. Or it's not like, okay, I know what to do next. Like I never knew what to do next, but things just kind of came. And like the more you're aware you are and conscious you are, you're kind of like, okay, this opportunity is here for a reason. Let's jump through this hoop, you know?
You're a good guy, man.
Thanks, you too.
Overall, no, you don't say take the compliment.
Okay, I have a hard
you're like
time.
you have like somebody says you're muscular. No, you're muscular. No. Just take the compliment.
Fine.
You're a good dude. You're
Received.
You're a good dude. You're doing good things. You should be proud of yourself, man. And it's just the beginning. When it comes to that kind of stuff, like the whole self-development thing, I don't think there's any stages that are higher or lower, but for lack of better words, I'm at the moment, let's say, instead of stage where I just think all this is a game, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like you talked about, like, you know, whether it's development or real estate sales or teams or EX, it's all, dude, it's like Monopoly. Do I want to win? Hell yeah, because I'm built that way. Winners win, shooters shoot. But it's just a game.
Mm-hmm.
The real stuff is like the time that we have and whatever you want to do with it. I was kind of listening to something on the way here. And who's that author I showed you yesterday? Joe Dispenza?
Yeah, Joe Dispenza.
Joe Dispenza, right? I was listening to his book, and he was actually on a podcast, and I forgot who was interviewing him, but the interviewer, he was like, man, my dad had cancer, and the only thing that he wanted was another day. Like how much he fought for one day, maybe just to see another day, to see his grandchildren. He goes, and he was going through pain. I can relate to the story because, you know, we all can relate to cancer. Fucking cancer sucks. But he just wanted one more day to do like just daily things that we just kind of take for advantage of, right? So that leads me to believe why I say it's all a game is because, man, life is short. So what you really want to do is buy back your time. You don't want to be a slave to your business because you're not taking that money with you. You want to make enough money to buy back your time. And yeah, more of it and less of it is going to float your ego. But you don't want to be in your deathbed and just being like, hey, I made this much. It's like, okay, who did you help? What did you create? You know?
Leave a legacy.
Legacy leaders. Right, Marina?
Well, I mean, Rick, it's been awesome.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Yeah.
If you want to plug in, you know, one piece of advice maybe for someone out there, go ahead.
Piece of advice, guys. Oh man, look, schedule. If you're beginning or in the middle, just we talked about it in your business or your success journey, let's call it. Buy back your time as fast as you can. If I was talking to Little Rick, okay, if Big Rick was giving Little Rick advice, I would say buy back your time. Don't trade hours for dollars. Work on passive income streams so you can do the things that you love to do. Don't be a slave to your business because there's one thing about being wealthy, but there's another thing of just working on your net worth and buying back your time. So work on the passive income streams, whatever it is. So you can go golfing, spend time with your children, spend time with your mom, go travel the world, right? We all love our business.
Yeah.
But we love our relationships more.
Yes. Love it. Wow.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
To everyone out there, please, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave all the 5-star reviews, all of them. Tell your whole extended family, even your second cousin removed. Just let them review for 5 stars. Even if they only listen to one episode, just make them review 5 stars. That's all we can ask here, because we do this for you guys. So thank you for tuning in as always. We love you guys. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Hit the sub.